It's that time of year when the diet ads are running and kale and protein powder have replaced the peppermint bark and almond roca on the shelves in your favorite store. Even if you didn't struggle with weight, you would probably feel compelled to jump on the diet bandwagon with everybody else. And I'm saying, stop! Don't do this! There are very many compelling reasons not to impulsively jump on a diet January 1st. One of them being that more than 55% of people who do this fail. So please, for your sake, in this episode of Thin Thinking, hear me out and hear what advice I have to offer you instead so you can head into the happy, healthy new year feeling awesome and really ready to consistently release weight in the long term. Did you know that our struggle with weight doesn't start with the food on your plate or get fixed in the gym? 80% of our weight struggle is mental. That's right. The key to unlocking long-term weight release and management begins in your mind. Hi there, I'm Rita Black. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist, weight loss expert, best-selling author, and the creator of the Shift Weight Mastery process. And not only have I helped thousands of people over the past 20 years achieve long-term weight mastery, I am also a former weight struggler, carb addict, and binge eater. And after 2 decades of failed diets and fad weight loss programs, I lost 40 pounds with the help of hypnosis. Not only did I release all that weight, I have kept it off for 25 years. Enter the Thin Thinking podcast where you too will learn how to remove the mental roadblocks that keep you struggling. I'll give you the thin thinking tools, skills, and insights to help you develop the mindset you need, not only to achieve your ideal weight, but to stay there long term and live your best life. Sound good? Let's get started. Hello and happy Boxing Day. How many of you know about Boxing Day? Well, if you're listening the day after Christmas and you are in the UK or Canada or Australia, New Zealand, and a number of other places, a lot of people celebrate Boxing Day. That's the day in the olden days where people used to take boxes of goods, whether it was food or presents to the poor. I believe that was the main thing, or to your neighbors too. It was like the day to take things around to the neighborhood and kind of meet and greet people. I remember when I lived in England, and this was, when I lived in England, it was such a shock to me because I went from living in New York City, which was like open 24/7, to England where, even in London in the late 80s, early 90s, everything shut on Sunday. So there was nothing open. You really only like the convenience stores. I think even the grocery stores were shut. It was crazy. So when we spent our first winter holiday in England, everything shut down for literally 4 days. All you could do was be inside, listen to the Queen's speech, and then, kind of hang out with your friends and family, which was great, but there was no other activities really going on. So I remember this one Boxing Day, my husband is from Herefordshire in England, or his mom's from Herefordshire, just north of Wales in England, and they're farmers, right? They sheep people, so they have sheep farms out there, and they farm. And my husband's aunt May, put us in her little car and put, I swear to God, how many places did we go? We went to 5 relatives' houses on one day, and she put 5 fruitcakes. It wasn't fruitcake; it was that British version of fruitcake, but it was like what do you call it? I'm forgetting now, but it's like the dessert, holiday cake. It was, a thick, spicy cake made of all of these different types of fruit. I mean, I'm going to call it fruit cake, but I think there's a different name. And then you put a fondant on it and then also put another thing on top when you eat it. It will come to me, I think. But anyway, long story short, so we started at one farm and everybody, so here's the thing, we would go and sit down and be served this amazing meal, right? Turkey, Brussels sprouts, swede, which is our rutabaga. Here in the United States, they call it swede. And, was there stuffing? No, but roasted potatoes. And so, the first meal we eat is delicious, yummy. I'm not managing my weight at that time at all. And then we have that dessert and then we go to the next place. And I think, oh, now we've eaten. So we're just going to hang out and, have some tea and talk. Oh no, now there's another meal and it is the exact same meal. That none of these people were talking to each other like, yes, we're serving them the turkey dinner. No, it was the same damn turkey dinner. And now this time at this house, I remember this because I was full. And so I was just like, I would eat a couple of Brussels sprouts. But the woman who was the head of the household, the women in these farmhouses wouldn't eat with us. They'd stand and kind of hover and walk around. And as soon as you ate anything, they would replace it with more food. Oh my God. So I'd eat a couple of Brussels sprouts and then a couple of Brussels sprouts would appear where I ate them. And so this went on. I've told this story before, but I don't think I've told it on this podcast. But if you're in my weight mastery community, you've heard me say this probably. Oh my gosh, this meal. So we went to the next farmhouse and of course it was the same and then the same. And then so 5 meals, all the same. I'd never been so full in my life. And when I think of Boxing Day, I think of that day. Oh my gosh, it was crazy. Of course, what would I want to do? Because I wanted to go on a diet. As soon as that day was over, I just wanted to go on a diet and get out of the pain of feeling so full. I don't think I've ever felt so full or fat. And well, no, I had felt more fat in my life, but definitely full. And in today's coaching session, I am going to caution you as to why it may not be in your best interest to start a diet January 1st. And I'm going to also give you some other thinking out of the Boxing Day box tools instead to really just start to come at your weight release in the new year from a new way. So I'm not saying don't get healthy, but I'm going to give you some caution how to get into being healthy in the new year with the right mindset so that you can be powerful, strong, consistent, and really move into the new year in a powerful way rather than reactive. Oh my gosh, I got to go on a diet January 1st and end up not getting the success that you want, not because you can't have it, but because you're not setting your mind up for success first. Okay, so let's hop into this coaching session. Managing your mind, managing your thinking is really the heart and soul of long-term permanent weight management. Weight management doesn't start on the plate or in the gym or on your Peloton, but it really starts in your mind. So let's start the new year from a place of using our mind effectively and not reactively, which is usually what happens at the beginning of the year. So number one reason why not to start a diet on New Year's Day, is because New Year's Day is the worst day of the year to start a diet. Why? Well, think about it. We have just come through the holiday season. And what is the busiest time of year? The holiday season. What is the most stressful time of the year? The holiday season. What's going on? We're outside of our structure. We're overwhelmed. We've been drinking a lot. We've been eating a lot. Our bodies are maybe imbalanced. Well, definitely imbalanced, especially if we have not been eating well. We've been busy with everybody and everything. Our brains are all fried. And so New Year's Day is actually, we're very depleted, and it isn't a good day to actually begin. Hopefully the idea is you want to start really taking care of yourself and creating a way of eating and living that's going to allow you not only just to release the weight, but keep it off for good. And that isn't going to come from starting on one of the most depleted, tired, overwhelmed days of the year. Now, if you want to start something in the new year, fine. Just don't start on January 1st. You set a date for yourself and do it for you. And really think it through ahead of time and really come from the inside out. Come from your making a change in your life for good, not this mad dash to choose some sort of diet because it's January 1st. Okay? Now, the second reason is FOMO. Do you know what FOMO is? I love that word FOMO. It's such a fun word to say. FOMO is the fear of missing out. And that's, we get caught up in that beginning of the year frenzy when everybody's joining a gym and everybody's picking, that's the, hey, look, Weight Watchers, Jenny Craig, Lindora, and online, all the diet gurus are hawking their wares at this time of the year. Why? Because they know your brain is like, I don't want to miss out on, like I've overeaten and now I got to get on that diet. Like I go to Trader Joe's and Trader Joe's prior to January 1st, everything that's out in that store is the cakes and the cinnamon buns and the gingerbread houses. January 1st, you walk in there, it's the protein shakes and the broccoli and the chicken and the, so they know where your head is at. And your head is at this fear of like, I gotta start something, I gotta be on something. And that's the last place you wanna be. Don't act out of fear, act out of inspiration and vision. Start your journey to weight mastery. Not at the, again, if you want to do it at the beginning, you're fine, but don't get hooked into reaction mode. You want to get into creation mode. You want to create a way forward that's going to be lasting for you. And you want to do it from a place of love and self-love, not fear. So don't get caught up in everybody else's frenzy to get off the holiday 5 or 10. If you really want to release weight, and have a powerful, lasting journey to weight management, do it for you. Don't do it for everybody else because everybody else is doing it. Take a breath and think it through. Get aligned with yourself, really make a decision. This isn't about a diet because diets are something we go on and just fall off of because they're externally based. So, okay, I'm going to do the keto or I'm going to do this. And, we'll do it. We can be successful for a little while. But then what happens is, we lose a little weight, the pain goes away, and then we don't have any plan. And then we end up falling back into our old habits. If you really want to make this long-term permanent weight management, you got to really start from within, do this for you, and start to change the way you communicate with yourself before you start, looking at all these other things about like what you're going to eat. And when you're managing yourself from the inside out, that is the place to start with your own inner coach, your own, what I like to call your own inner weight management coach. It's changing that critic and the rebel into a powerful inner coach. So forget the fear of missing out. Start from yourself and set a date that you're not overwhelmed, you're not exhausted, and you're creating a new way forward rather than reacting. And then the last but not least, to add on to that idea is that most of the time we start a diet from a place of pain. Oh my God, I gained 10 pounds over New Year's. I can't fit into my pants anymore. I got to lose the weight, right? And that's a place of pain. But like I was saying earlier, when we start from pain's a great motivator. But the problem is, as soon as we'll go on the diet, we'll lose a few pounds, and then the pain goes away. And so does our motivation to go to the gym, to eat healthfully. We go out on a Friday night, we eat the pizza, we're back in our old habits. So we want to start with a vision. And I suggest getting quiet with yourself and creating a vision of you in June or September, light at your ideal weight, and really anchor that to a place and a time and a feeling. Get that feeling going of what that would feel like, the confidence you would have, that the way it would change you, because the you who got yourself to June or September in your ideal weight is different than the you January 1st who's starting out. You're going to have made different decisions. You're going to have been consistent. You're going to have been getting up and exercising when maybe that old you would say, no, I don't want to do that. And you want to get your brain really excited about that vision so that your brain's really smart. And when you engage that feeling, it engages your reticular activation system in your brain, and your brain will start moving towards. It will start to figure it out. Your brain is very smart. It will put the pieces of the puzzle together, but you have to give it the vision to move towards. There's a saying, the pain pushes until the vision pulls. So start with the vision and start your new year with a powerful vision of where you want to go. Get inspired and then move forward from that inspiration rather than reacting from the pain. Oh, I'm in pain. Let me get out of it, because it will be very short-lived for you. And this is why most New Year's goals don't last very long. And that's why, when people join the gym, the gyms know, by it, the gyms are very crowded in January and February, but come March, April, May, they're back to the normal members who, have been going day in, day out, for the rest of the year. So really, don't start on January 1st. Just take a break and have a nice day and give yourself some love and rest on January 1st. And don't react to everybody going on a diet around you or, everybody, all the specials that are going on in the store. Really get quiet internally and start creating a vision and moving towards that vision. And you'll get there one step at a time. But it's really start to nurture that inner weight management coach within you, because they exist, but they've just been drowned out by that inner critic and rebel that, want you to go on some restrictive regime. And then the rebels, we'll start again on Monday and into that old weight struggle cycle. Escape the cycle, take the time, really create your way forward. Okay, so Happy New Year. I hope you have a wonderful one. Happiest, healthiest, safest holiday to you and all those people in your life that you love and your community. Okay, Happy New Year. All right, I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope it left you feeling full of ideas, but not as full as I felt on that Boxing Day all of those years ago. I probably have been as full since, but I don't think I have been as full of the same foods all the time. So if you're not listening to this on Boxing Day or just listening to it before the new year, I hope you head into the new year, and I hope you have an amazing new year. Happy New Year. I believe we're going to have one more episode before the new year, so I'll really wish that to you then. But if you're just somebody tuning into this at some other point of the year, well, those coachings are just as good any other time of the year. It's really all about getting your mind in the right place. So have an amazing week. And remember that the key, and probably the only key to unlocking the door of the weight struggle, is inside you. So keep listening and find it. Thanks for listening to the Thin Thinking Podcast. Did that episode go by way too fast for you? If so, and you want to dive deeper into the mindset of long-term weight release, head on over to www.shiftweightmastery.com. That's www.shiftweightmastery.com, where you'll find numerous tools and resources to help you unlock your mind for permanent weight release, tips, strategies, and more. And be sure to check the show notes to learn more about my book, From Fat to Thin Thinking, Unlock Your Mind for Permanent Weight Loss, and to learn how to subscribe to the podcast so that you never miss an episode.